Mr. Perez, I still have the floor.
Gusto ko po sanang ireklamo si Senator Pangilinan sa pagsigaw.
The Senate is under attack, was under attack.
Good afternoon, I'm Pinky Webb.
I'm Attorney Edwin Lacierda.
You're watching Bilyonaryo News Channel special coverage, Senate Under Fire. At 3 p.m. today, the Senate is expected to convene as an impeachment court for the trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. We will give you the updates here on BNC. But for the meantime, it is 2:42, Attorney Edwin. And we are expecting them to convene as an impeachment court by 3 p.m. At least that's what SP Alan Peter Cayetano was saying.
That's the intention of the present majority,
Yeah.
which is actually lacking in one number. So if the other side would have the numbers, the first thing that they will do is inform the Senate President. And then the first motion that they will do is to call for all the positions to be declared vacant. So we don't know if they have the numbers.
Yeah. Are there still negotiations ongoing as you... Ano
My
ba ang mga
understanding is yes,
bali-balita mo?
tuloy-tuloy pa rin.
Okay. Kasi nga meron ding, well, it's a very slim number
Very,
that the
very.
majority has. They call it, actually some people call it unstable. Diba? Fragile.
It's a very mild term to be called.
So we have our reporters over there to keep an eye on what will happen today. We have Joan Manalo. She's outside the Senate covering ongoing protests. Joan, tell us what's happening there now.
Pinky, various progressive groups, including Bagong Alyansa Makabayan or Bayan, and families of drug war victims have begun gathering outside the film center of the Philippines here in Pasay City, and they have also began marching towards the Senate premises located just several kilometers from the area. They are pressing their calls to hold Vice President Sara Duterte accountable for impeachable offenses, including the confidential funds misuse. This mobilization comes ahead of the Senate's convening as an impeachment court for Vice President Sara's upcoming trial. More than 200 rallies are expected to join the protest, and as of the moment, we can see here, it's more than just 200 right now, Pinky, and with organizers saying that they're even expecting more participants to arrive later in the day. Earlier, before this Bayan-led mobilization, the Philippine Alliance of Human Rights Advocates, along with the People Power Coalition, also marched to the Senate, where Labor leader Calyodi de Guzman said they went to the Senate to condemn what they described as senators prioritizing positions and power struggles over accountability. He also said that they believe that the outcome of the impeachment is already apparent, claiming that VP Sara may still be acquitted despite what they describe as mounting evidence. Meanwhile, more than 1,000 police personnel have also been deployed around the Senate premises to ensure security amid expected demonstrations from different groups. PNP Chief Police General Jose Melencio Nartates said police forces are prepared to secure all political activities related to the Senate's expected convening as an impeachment court today, and they added that the goal is to ensure that all activities begin and end peacefully, adding that authorities expect heightened emotions from supporters of different sides and that police presence will be crucial in maintaining peace and order. And that's the latest here from the Senate. Pinky.
All right, Joan, thanks a lot. Joan Manalo there reporting outside the Senate, and we'll get more updates and information from Joan a little later on. Let's check the situation inside the Senate. Hannah T is there. Hannah, what's the latest there?
Behind me ay Senate Minority Block na nandito tayo ngayon sa taas sa 6th floor kung saan kakatapos lang ng kanilang pagpupulong. We're trying to get the comment of former Senate President Tito Soto dahil sa opisina niya kasi nangyari yung pagpupulong ng Senate Minority. At tinanong natin siya kung meron na bang sapat na numero para sa umano'y Senate coup na umuugong na since weekend pa. At tumanggi silang magbigay ng panayam. Ngayon, Pinky, pababa na sila sa 2nd floor kung saan nandoon yung Senate plenary. At in a few minutes, magkakaroon na ng session. So to recall, well, Pinky, we saw the minority senators having a meeting sa opisina ni former Senate President Tito Soto at nakita rin natin yung dalawang nag-abstain sa nakaraang kudeta last week. Yan sina Senators Mig Zubiri at Senator JV Ejercito. So far, walang pahayag itong minority camp, pero on the part of Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano, sinabi niya na kung sakali mang merong mangyayaring kudeta mamaya ay wala naman daw siyang sama ng loob sa mga kapwa niya senador. At ang priority raw sa sesyon mamayang alas 3 ay ang pag-organize ng Senate, kasama dyan yung pagsasaayos ng committee chairmanships at kung meron man at kung merong sakaling magtaas ng kamay to declare na merong sapat na boto para palitan siya bilang Senate President, hindi naman daw niya haharangan ito. Kasunod ng pag-organize ng Senate, Pinky, aantabayan na natin itong ang pag-proceed na or pag-convene ng Senado bilang impeachment court kung saan if hindi mangyayari itong kudeta ay manunumpa si Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano bilang presiding officer. Pinky.
That's right. Hana, dalawa talaga yung binabantayan natin siya, Attorney
Right.
Edwin. Magkakaroon ba ng coup, magkakaroon ba ng panibagong leadership dyan sa Senado, and of course, convening the Senate into an impeachment court. So pag-usapan muna natin yung doon sa posibleng coup na yung ugong-uga nga sabi ni Hana has been happening since the weekend. Hana, talagang tahimik ang mga senador ngayon. Parang iniiwasan kayo at ayaw magsalita.
Yes, Pinky. Actually, hindi din tayo nakasabay sa elevator dahil hinarangan tayo ng usaa. So ngayon, we're taking the stairs going to the second floor. Pero si SP Alan, nagbigay naman siya ng pahayag pagdating doon nga sa umuugong na kudeta and also the calls for him to resign as senator. At ayon sa kanya, there's no reason for him to resign dahil for him wala siyang nakikitang dahilan given the incidents last week. At although sinabi niya naman na he's taking accountability for his reaction towards the incident that happened last week. At katunayan, payag nga siya sa investigation na nangyayari ngayon regarding the shooting incident. Pinky.
Hana, matanong ko na rin, Attorney Edwin, sabi mo pinigilan kayo ng OSAA. Sino ba ang OSAA ngayon? Hindi ba? Kasi pumunta dyan, Hana, kanina napanood ko, ang mga tauhan ng ombudsman. Dahil sa utos ni Ombudsman Boying Remulla to suspend si OSAA General Mawa Plasca,
Right.
Attorney Edwin, for 6 months. And also, dalawa din yon, to suspend him for 6 months and to turn over pertinent CCTV and any reports coming from the Senate. First of all, sinong OSAA ngayon?
Pinky, sa ngayon nananatili siyang pending dahil pinag-uusapan pa raw ng Senate majority kung ano ang mangyayari.
Okay. Alright, Ana, balikan ka namin. Di na maganda yung signal. Attorney Edwin, I was just curious about that because Ombudsman Boying was saying that I think when they delivered or gave the order to suspend OSAA Mawa Plasca, parang hindi daw tinanggap.
Yeah, parang they defined eh.
Yeah, but they went again today. Nagpunta din yung staff ng Office of the Ombudsman dyan para
So they're verifying now. Si Hannah is verifying now?
Yeah, I'm sure she's verifying along with napakarami kasi ng mga posibleng storya ngayon. Pero yun yung panood ko kanina na nagpunta ang dalawang tauhan ng Office of the Ombudsman, although they didn't talk to anyone, assuming that that was the order coming from the Ombudsman. Ang tanong doon, Attorney Ed, can they defy that order coming from the Ombudsman? Can the Senate do that?
You know, we're now beyond norms eh. I mean, look, the past few days we've witnessed so many norms being broken. So, the Senate was attacked, Parang magulo ngayon under the leadership of Senate President Cayetano, medyo problematic. So, tingnan natin.
Okay, si Hannah, I think, is back. She might have better signal now. Hannah, we lost you there for a bit. Go ahead. Sige, nawala. All right. Yung isa pa namin kasama, si Dexter Ganibe, also monitoring the events over at the Senate. Dexter, what can you tell us?
Yes, Pinky and Secretary Edwin, ngayong hapon ay nakababa na lahat ng 11 na mga senador ng miyembro ng minority. Masasabi na natin miyembro ng minority dahil nagkaroon sila ng caucus kanina, tulad ng nire-report kanina ni Hannah T. nakasama nga doon sa kanilang bilang, sa kanilang hanay, itong si Senators J.B. Ejercito at Senator Mig Zubiri. Lahat sila nakaalis na dito sa 6th floor, papunta na doon sa session hall para simulan itong sesyon ng Senado na kalaunan ay inaasahan natin magkukonvene nga na impeachment court. Kanina may mga natanggap tayong mga ulat base doon sa mga impormasyon ng ating mga sources ng DNC, ng Abante dito sa Senado. May nangyayaring pakikipag-usap sa kampo nitong 11 doon sa kampo ni Senator Chief Escudero na nagkakaroon ng huddle kung makukuha ba nila si Escudero sa kampo ng bubuing bagong majority. Kanya lang ang natatanggap nating report, ang sinasabi nitong si Senator Chief ay lilipat siya at may isasama pa siyang 4 na iba, pero ang kanyang kondisyon, siya ang nuluklok na Senate President. Pero doon yata nagkakaroon ng matinding pag-uusap kung paano yung magiging desisyon nitong bagong mayor. Malalaman natin ngayon yan pag nagsimula na itong session ngayon, kung magkakaroon ba bago mag-convene bilang impeachment court, kung magkakaroon ba ng panibagong change of leadership sa Senado. Kaugnay naman dito sa kung sino ang mamumunong USAA, pansamantala ang tinalagang OIC ay yung second in command, ang Director for Operations ng USAA na si Director Manuel Parlade. Siya yung Director for Operations ng USAA na pansamantala ngayon siya ang mamumuno sa operasyon ng Office of the Surgeon at Arms habang itong si retired Major General Mau Aplasca ay suspendido ng 6 na buwan matapos siya patawan ng preventive suspension ng Ombudsman. Sige?
Dexter, ano ulit yung name nung identity nung bagong Sergeant at Arms or acting Sergeant at Arms in the wake of the suspension of General Aplasca?
Ang binigay sa atin na pangalan nitong mga taga-USAA, ang kanilang bagong boss daw ay itong si Director Manuel Parlade. Siya yung Director for Operations ng USAA.
Alright.
So, pansamantala siya muna yung mamumuno sa operasyon ng yung pang-araw-araw na operasyon ng USAA.
Alright. Dexter, nakita mo ba si General Mau Aplasca dyan kanina? Alright, balikan na lang natin si Dexter Ganive reporting live over there at the Senate. So what can we expect now, Attorney Edwin?
Well, ang sabi, so they're gonna, mukhang medyo problematic yata. I don't think the way that it's happening right now, I think they won't be able to get the
numbers?
The numbers. They didn't get the 13 votes. So what will happen right now is, what happened right now, they'll see. The Senate President will convene the impeachment court. The other side will question what happened in the events of the past week.
Oh, Dexter, you're still there?
Yes, thank you.
Dexter, kasi posible rin mangyari, no? Pagkapasok nila sa plenaryo, kapag mag-umpisa na sila, 3 p.m. dapat yan, so in a couple of minutes, pwede bang mag-umpisa yan sa pag-question bago doon sa pag-convene ng impeachment court, doon sa nangyari noong Wednesday?
Oo, yun ang inaasahan natin, Pinky, na pag nagsimula na itong sesyon, hindi naman kaagad-agad yan na isang impeachment court na magkakaroon muna ng yung regular na pag-o-open, magkakaroon ng prayer, and then yung pag-awit ng lupang hinirang, and then mga roll call. And then from there, siguro, tingnan natin kung ano yung mga susunod pang pag-uusapan kapag natapos na itong roll call.
Alright, sige. Bantayan na lang natin kung anong mangyayari. We just need to take a very quick break. We will be right back.
Mr. President, I still have the floor.
Gusto ko po sanang ireklamo si Senator Pangilinan sa pagsigaw.
The Senate is under attack. Was under attack. Mr. President. I still have the floor.
Gusto ko po sanang ireklamo si Senator Pangilinan sa pagsigaw.
The Senate is under attack. Was under attack.
Welcome back to BNC Special Coverage, Senate Under Fire. Attorney Edwin Lacierda and I are still waiting for the Senate session that should begin at 3 p.m. when the chamber is expected to convene as an impeachment court. At this point, also joining us right now, former Chief Presidential Legal Counsel during the Duterte administration and a regular here in BNC, Attorney Salvador Panelo. Attorney Sal, always
Hi,
a
good
pleasure.
afternoon
Also,
to the
maraming
both of you.
salamat po sa inyo. Ano expectations mo today?
Iniisip ko magpapalit na uli sila eh.
Tingin mo?
Eh kasi wala na si Bato eh. Tapos mayroon dalawa nag-abstain. Mayroon pang isa dyan na bruited to as Senate President sana, kaya lang na-outplay yata. nung isa.
Sino yun? Sabihin mo na pinapahula mo pa yung mga nanonood sa atin.
Female senator.
Okay. Na matagal na doon.
Kasama mong dati sa broadcast. Ayan, alam mo na yun.
okay. So siya yun. All right, but Attorney Edwin, no, it's not that easy because even if Senator Bato de la Rosa is not there, they still need 13 to be able to claim.
On questions of the change in Senate leadership, you require 13 votes. Hindi lang majority. So, kaya kailangan lang 13 votes. So, right now, kung nothing happens, 12-11 pa rin.
Yun pa rin.
Oo.
So mananatili si SP Alan. Kahit anong mangyari, kailangan nila ng 13.
Yes.
Bago nila sabihin na bakante. All seats vacant. Ganun ba? Ganun ang tawag
Oo.
doon. All seats. We declare.
You cannot move to declare unless you have the majority.
Yeah. So that's what's going to happen. No, that's what may not happen
May or may
in
not.
today's session. Pero syempre mag-uumpisa pa sila sa with the usual openings sa session. Minsan talaga titingnan mo yung mga senador natin at babasahin mo yung kanilang body language, kanilang mga facial expression, waiting to see if there's actually something that will happen today. So anyway, two things again that we're watching out for is there going to be a change of leadership today? And of course, convening the Senate into an impeachment court.
You've been attending, you've been witnessing this na eh. So what's your sense?
Of what?
Kung nagkaroon ng change or hindi? You're looking at them.
Ngayon, hirap eh. Parang lahat sila guarded eh. Guarded yung mga tayo. Kahit nga yung media, halos di makalapit sa kanila. Ayaw magbigay ng kahit na anong...
Pero kahit naman sino ang
interview.
Senate President, ganun din mangyayari dyan.
Ano mangyayari, Attorney
O
Sal?
edi, tutuloy nila yung impeachment trial. Wala naman eh.
And do you see anything wrong with that?
Wala.
Okay.
Which one? Yung
Yung pagtuloy ng impeachment trial.
sabi nila, tutuloy. Pero do you remember prior to this minority being majority, sabi nung isa we will question the convening of the impeachment. Sabi ko, kung gaganon ang gagawin ninyo, ang tanong dyan, anong legal basis? Yan ang magandang pag-usapan kung bakit. Ako, ang nakikita ko lang na basis nila, may pending petition sa Supreme Court. Kasi kini-question nila yung regularity.
Pero there's no injunctive relief eh.
Interesting. Attorney Sal and I were actually talking about that. I had him as a guest last week. No? Sabi nga ni Attorney Sal, pwede daw, Attorney Edwin, na sabihin nila, stop muna tayo dahil may pending petition. But it is a pending petition without a TRO. They should continue, right?
Without
Di ba ganun
TRO,
yung
there's
normal
nothing to
process
stop
nun?
them unless they themselves decide to do that. But other than an order from the Supreme Court, they can choose not to proceed.
Yeah, but the normal procedure would be, without a TRO,
Tuloy.
dapat ka mag-proceed.
Correct,
Hindi
correct.
hindi ka titigil at sasabihin mong, sandali lang, hintayin natin, may pending petition.
Pero one of them can
Motion.
initiate a motion na wag muna kasi baka we are wasting our time. Pareho nung last year.
Yeah, they can do that.
By the way, assuming there's no change in leadership and then they convene the impeachment court, but if there's a change, palit din ng leadership.
Oo.
Palit din ng presiding judge.
Presiding
everything
justice.
changes.
So okay, so what's going to happen today is dun sa impeachment court, ano ba mauuna? Muna si SP Alan to be the presiding justice, tapos he will preside amongst all the senators present.
But right now, as what Dexter said, if you heard him, I think the other side will be questioning and raising all these questions on last week's event.
Yeah, yung
So
mga
we'll see what
nangyari.
will happen.
Yeah, I think also si Senator Erwin Tulfo was saying that they want to know exactly what happened last Wednesday. So ang tanong doon, Attorney Sal, Attorney Edwin, anong uunahin nila pagkatapos nung kanilang usual opening sa pagpapasok?
Dapat siguro tanungin natin siya, ano ba nangyari doon? Ikaw nandun eh.
Sino tatanungin natin?
Si Erwin. Di
No,
ba?
he was not there.
He was not there?
Wala na siya noon nung nangyari yon. Umalis na yung minority
Umalis sila?
senators at that time.
Bakit?
Yeah.
Ba't sila umalis?
Kasi tapos na daw ang sesyon.
Hindi kayo natakot?
Hindi pa nangyari
as far
yun
as si Senator Risa Ontiveros, may biyahe siya sa...
Biyahe siya.
She had to leave early. Pero ito, labanan to ng... of course, si Alan would want to proceed and convene the impeachment court. The other side would like to question the events last week.
Question about that. If Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano becomes the presiding officer, pag nagkaroon ba ng change of leadership, palit din si presiding? So gano'n na naman, ano ulit?
Kasi ikaw ang under the Constitution, the Senate President is the presiding officer. So kung nagpalit yan, kung may nagpalit ng liderato, palit din ang presiding officer.
Okay. So, ano pa ba ang aabangan natin ngayong araw? Well, of course, our reporters are still there. Siguro, let's talk to Hannah. Hannah, are you there?
Yes, Pinky, I can hear you.
Go ahead, Hannah.
We're currently kinoconduct ngayon yung national anthem.
And by the way...
Kinoconduct ngayon yung national anthem, Pinky.
Yeah.
And by the way, my understanding is
Let's go back later.
the prosecution team is in one of the holding rooms.
Nandun din.
Nandun sila.
You're sure? I think, were you the one that told me that earlier?
Yeah, I was talking to one of the prosecution team members. So sabi ko, it turns out that they were there na pala.
Pero yung ano dyan, yung tanong dyan kasi, anong gagawin ng prosecution team dyan ngayon? Kasi ang pagkaalam ko, sa huling rinig ko kay SP Alan was that they will convene into an impeachment court, then they will send out summons. And then that might be the end of it for now.
Right. Nothing will happen because they have to send the summons and to the Vice President.
Right.
So kailangan pa to go through the process pa. So the trial won't be held kaagad.
Hindi siya
So wala pa
agad-agad.
tayo, by the way, Attorney Panelo, wala pang impeachment rules ngayon. They have to
Wala pa.
They have to draft the
They have to-
impeachment
Gawa
rules.
pa
Can't
sila.
they just adopt
They can
it?
adopt
They can adopt it,
But they can adopt.
they still have to do
Change. They want.
If there's anything in the impeachment rules that they want to change, ano yun, simple majority ulit?
Hindi ko nga alam. At sa bagay, it's not a leadership issue. Pag hindi leadership issue, simple majority.
Okay. Yung isa pa nating kasamahan, si Isaiah Mirafuentes, is also there at the Senate. Isaiah, can you hear me?
Yes, Pinky. Yes, kararating nga lang natin dito. No? Mula tayo sa House of Representatives, Pinky, at tumungo tayo dito sa Senado. Kasabay natin yung mga prosecutor members na silang gustong sumaksi sa pag-convene nga ng Senado bilang impeachment court ngayong araw. Pero hanggang sa mga oras na ito, Pinky, yung mga prosecutor, yung mga mambabatas, ay hindi muna pumapasok dito sa loob ng Senado ayon sa kanila. Yan ay para rin makumpirma pa nila at kung may magaganap ba talagang pag-convene ngayong araw. Ang sabi sa atin ni Representative Perez doon kanina, nakita nga rin natin sila nagkaroon muna ng meeting bago pumunta dito sa Senado. Ang sabi sa atin ni Congressman Ridon ay nagkaroon nga sila ng pag-aalinlangan, Pinky, kung pupunta pa sila dito sa Senado dahil nga wala namang silang natanggap na invitation o kumpirmasyon na mag-convene ngayong araw. Pero gusto nila mas maging handa sila, so kaya kasabay nga natin silang bumiyahe dito at oras daw na makakuha sila ng kumpirmasyon at malaman nila ang detalye na magkukonvene o tuloy na magkukonvene ang Senado ngayong araw ay agad daw silang papasok. PK, sinabi rin sa ating kanina ni Representative Teredo na pinag-usapan din nila kanina sa kanilang meeting na magtatalaga sila ng ilang mga private prosecutor na magiging kaagapay nila sa pagharap sa impeachment trial. Pero hanggang sa ngayon ay hindi pa nila ito pinangalanan. Isa lang, Pinky, ang naging sigurado nating impormasyon. Ayon kay Representative Reneco ng Kabataan Party List, isa siya sa mga magiging spokesperson ng prosecutor panel kapag nagsimula na ang impeachment trial. Pinky.
Alright, maraming salamat sa iyo, Isaiah Mirafuentes, reporting dyan din po sa Senado. So yan, nandyan na nga sila as Attorney Edwin was saying a while ago, and I guess just really to observe
Yeah,
and
the funny
find
thing
out.
was, it's true that they were very, very worried yesterday. What's happening? What's happening? Kasi nga, there was talk of negotiations, there were talks of nakuha na yung majority, yan pala, wala pa. So they were also really at a loss.
Yeah. Ano ba yung mga negotiations na yan?
Yun nga, yung sinabi ni Dexter, si Chis Escudero had 5 senators for
With him?
With him. So kasi right now, the solid 5, si Ping, si Tito Soto, si Risa, si
Bam and
Migs, and si
Migs?
Migs.
Okay.
And one other, hindi sila kasama dito sa negotiation. So, ang 5 doon, sila, Bam, JV, the 2 Tulfo brothers, and I forget one other guy. So, they're 5. Chis is offering siya, Jinggoy, Joel, and the siblings,
Villars.
the Villar siblings. Sila yung 5. Ang condition, so, and then there's si Lito Lapid. So,
Kanino ba si Lito Lapid ngayon?
hindi siya kasama dun sa either one.
Okay, but previously, he stayed with
Still
Tito
with them,
Sen.
with sila Tito Sen.
Yeah, he stayed with them. Di ba nung nagka-9 sila? Ang hindi lang talaga bumoto noon were Senator Mig Zubiri and Senator J.V. Ejercito. Sabi nila they will be independent, di ba?
Ang condition ni Senator Chis Escudero is, you make me Senate President.
I see.
So, medyo problematic yun because, right now, the anger of the people is directed towards the Cayetanos. Remember, Chis Escudero is not exactly clean right now because he's involved in the flood control scam. Number 2, he's the Senate President who stopped the impeachment trial. What do you expect the public to react? So, it's like, ano ba to? Ano nangyayari ngayon sa Senado?
Doon tayo nagka-problema sa forthwith.
Right. Doon tayo
Kay
nagka-problema
dating Senate President Chis
Kung silang
Escudero.
tatanggapin mong Senate President si Chis Escudero, most likely, the public will not take it well.
Yeah. From your side, Attorney Sal, what are you hearing?
Wala ako masyadong narinig sa pag-change eh. Ang inaalala ko kung darating itong dalawa o hindi.
Sino
Kasi
yung dalawa?
ito, si Padilla sa si Bato.
Yeah.
That will trigger change eh. Pag nawala yung dalawa, magpalitan na naman eh.
Hindi, they won't. Because kailangan mo, unless you can, makakapitas ka sa kabila. It has to be 13.
Kaya nga.
So, kahit nawala sila, kung wala sila, mas mahihirapan pumitas. Kasi kasama dun sa negotiation ni Chis, si Joel, si Jinggoy,
Villars.
the 2 Villars, kasama siya. So, yun yung from the other side.
So, nag-i-initiate si Cheese.
He had the proposal, according to Dexter Ganibe. And the condition is, you make me Senate President. Which is quite, depends on how the
Problematic.
public will take it.
Yeah. Marami pa rin kasing katanungan ngayon, especially where Senator Robin Padilla is, where Senator Bato de la Rosa is. We can imagine, or at least assume, that for now, posibleng hindi talaga magpakita muna si Senator Bato dahil nga...
Ay, hindi na magpapakita yun.
Until magkaroon ng desisyon ng Supreme Court. Let's all recall, it was Saturday when the SOLGEN submitted its reply to the TRO that they filed, the Senator Bato de la Rosa's defense team filed regarding his arrest warrant. Remember, sabi ng Korte Suprema, 3 days for government to reply and another 3 days for Senator Bato to
But
reply.
there's no TRO issued by the
Wala.
court, di ba?
Wala.
So, hindi lalabas yan.
Kasi hindi sila nag-file ng habeas corpus petition. Dapat yun ang final nila. Tapos na sana yan eh. Within
Si
24
Attorney
hours,
Sal-
na-resolve yan eh.
Attorney Sal was saying that dapat daw habeas corpus ang kanilang final. But let's just pause a moment. Let's see what's happening in the Senate right now. Let's listen in.
Mendoza, former congressman of the great province of Batangas. And with that, Mr. President, and following the relinquishment of the position by our former Secretary of the Senate, I move that we proceed to the election of a new Secretary of the Senate. So move, Mr. President.
Yes. I consulted the minority leader, and because the SecGen will also be the clerk of court of the impeachment proceeding. So there are no objections. We will proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, in accordance to Rule 2, Section 2 of the Rules of the Senate, may I respectfully nominate Jose Luis Garcia Montales as the new Secretary of the Senate. So move, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? Hearing none.
Thank you, Mr. President. And there being no other nominations, may I respectfully move that the period of nominations be closed. So move, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? Hearing none. The motion is approved. Pursuant to the rules of the Senate, there being no other candidate for the position of Senate Secretary, the voting will be viva voce. Those voting for Attorney Montales, please say aye. The ayes have it. Congratulations, Attorney Jose Luis Montales. Those who are against, say nay. Okay. Thank you very much for. The ayes have it. And Jose Luis Montales is hereby declared as proclaimed as the Secretary of the Senate, the second to have been both SecGen of the House and the Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President. May I move for a minute suspension to allow our new Senate Secretary to ascend the rostrum and take his oath. So move, Mr. President.
No, thank you.
Just to clarify lang pala kanina, Pinky, it's a prosecution team member just told me that they're near the Senate.
Near.
They're
Wala
not
sila
in the
sa
Senate
loob.
premises.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clarification there. So what just happened right now? Let's talk to, I think, Hannah. She's on the line. Hannah, go ahead.
Hi, Pinky. From what you've seen, Jose Luis Garcia Montales is the new Senate Secretary, replacing Mark Leandro Mendoza. Actually, nabanggit na rin ito ni Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano kanina na natanggap niya ang isang resignation letter mula kay Mendoza nitong nakaraang linggo. Hindi niya nabanggit kung anong date, pero this is after the recent events sa Senado nitong nakaraang linggo nga. Kasama dyan yung Senate shooting incident at paglitaw ni Senator Bato de la Rosa sa Senate plenary. If I can recall correctly, Pinky, Jose Montales is a lawyer and he also was known for serving as Secretary General of the House of Representatives during the speakership of Alan Peter Cayetano. Yan ay sometime around 2019. At ngayon, kanina narinig din natin si SP Alan, he was saying na ito ngang si Montales ay Secretary of both chambers sa ngayon dahil nga siya rin ay bago ng Senate Secretary. Pinky.
All right, Hannah. Thanks a lot. So that's a minute suspension or a couple of minute suspension. The new Senate Secretary taking his oath before the Senate President, assisted by Senator Pia Cayetano. BNC special coverage, the Senate under fire. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. We have live pictures from the Senate session hall. Let's listen in.
I heard, and we saw the notice, the message from the House of Representatives, and you have referred the articles of impeachment to the Committee on Rules. May we know if we have already constituted the Committee on Rules?
The Committee on Rules is in the acting capacity. So in accordance with Section 19, the same members and Senator Villanueva. Actually, for your information, Minority Leader, we were in caucus and wanted to meet also the minority to start reading the committee chairmanships, but we thought it prudent to convene the court first, and then when we remove our, after we convene the court and suspend, we can go back into session to start reading the committees.
So I take it that right now the chairman of the Committee on Rules is in an acting capacity.
Yes, Senator Villanueva.
And the membership at this point would only be the ex officio members.
and the members before all positions were declared
holdover
vacant.
from the previous,
yes, in accordance with Section 19.
Will you refresh me with Section 19, Your Honor, Mr. President? Because
Yes, yes. And to be fair,
because in that
Senator
case-
Pangilinan has a interpretation question. That's why we referred this to the Committee on Rules.
Okay.
The chairman and the members of the permanent committee shall commence in the exercise of their duties upon election. They shall cease when their successors shall have been elected or designated. So since we have not yet elected or designated their successors, except for the majority leader, our interpretation that it continues. But Senator Pangilinan did bring up the seeming conflict that if it's all seats vacant, then it's
Yes,
vacant. But
precisely.
then my initial statement was that you harmonize the rules, and if you harmonize it with pragmatically with what's happening, then we should never have a complete vacancy. Having said that, it is with the Committee on Rules, but I don't think Senator Villanueva scheduled it for hearing until we have the permanent members, just to be sure. And we hope to start doing that this afternoon.
we will accept that for now, Mr.
Yes.
President.
Thank you, Minority Leader.
We make a note of the manifestation.
And,
Thank you.
and I will note and recognize not only your observations today, but the observation of Senator Pangilinan. And if we need to clarify later on, it'll be a good opportunity for us to look at the rules, given the 1392 present setup, unless we are overtaken by events. Yes. Okay. Majority Leader?
Correction, Mr. President, 1311.
Yeah, well, it hasn't been corrected because Senator Subiri and Senator JV said that they are independent, but same with Senator Pia and I, we started out independent, and then Senator Subiri asked us if for the purposes of we can join the majority. So it's their choice if they remain minority or they join the majority, or if you can get 2 more members, then you will be the new majority.
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. President, may I?
Of course. Former Senate President Zubiri.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I would like to be associated with the minority bloc, Mr. President, if I may. Binatigos nga ako nila, sabi nila na ako'y nag-fence sitting at nag-abstain. Nag-abstain lang ako para have a free hand to vote on which issue that I think is important for the Filipino people. But when it comes to the organization, I would like to associate myself with the minority, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Zubiri. Yes. So, Senator Ejercito would also like to manifest.
Yes, first of all, Mr. President, I'd like to thank Mr. President for the trust and honor that I was offered to become the majority leader. But as I have mentioned to you personally, that as of this time, I would rather maintain my independence, and with what is happening all over, I think I'll be able to perform my tasks very well and my pet programs very well as an independent. But again, nonetheless, Mr. President, I would like to thank you for the trust and confidence. Being majority leader is a very, of course, it's one of the most powerful, we would say, position in the Senate. But I guess I have, at this point, I would like to maintain my independence.
And I also understand. I also recognize that you will say that you will be our number 14, but until the time that we vote, any member, we have to respect their decision and always ascribe good faith. So we will continue to be good friends despite the political divisions or the nomenclature of who is in the majority or the minority. So for the purposes of today to the future, and unless a change is made, will you be an independent or will you be with the minority?
Yes, for now, Mr. President, I'll be with the minority.
Okay.
But again, I would like to thank you for that and for the respect. And we will all still be friends no matter what. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Senator Ejercito. So the Secretariat has that noted, and we can now compute the membership at a 13-11 proportion, so that we do not, we're not accused of any delay. Acting Majority Leader, what's your pleasure
Yes, Mr.
about the
President.
articles of
Yes,
impeachment?
yes, Mr. President. Just to put on record, as Senator JV made mention, this his statement is for the purposes of proportional representation in the membership of committees. Also, Mr. President, Senator Lacson asked this representation to put also on record the membership of the Senate Committee on Rules or ex officio members would have to be the new ex officio members. So just to put that on record, Mr. President.
That's a correct observation from Senator Lacson.
Thank you. Mr. President, with the permission of the body, the articles of impeachment have been referred to the Committee on Rules. May I respectfully move to refer the articles of impeachment to the impeachment court. I so move, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? There's no objection. It is so referred.
Mr. President, may I move that we suspend the session to convene the impeachment court. So move, Mr. President.
If there's no objection, we will suspend and convene the impeachment court.
All right. At 3:28 p.m. today, again, another suspension for the senators who already convened themselves into an impeachment court. Attorney Edwin, ito, we'll see them donning their robes already. Ganun ba yan? Is that what we are going to expect?
Yes, that's when they convene the impeachment court, so they're expected to wear or don their robes and take their oath.
And no problem. You saw no problem yung a little bit of questions on the Committee on Rules, sinong nasa rules dahil all seats vacant, paano ba yun?
Pero for now, si Tito Soto never objected.
Yeah,
So
no
that
objection.
should be okay.
So nasa Committee on Rules na. Alright, so Attorney Sal, mukhang tuloy naman yung pag-convene nila sa impeachment court. Did you have any doubts about that?
Ngayon, hindi. Sinabi na ng Senate President.
Prior to, nagkaroon pa rin kayo
nagsabi
ng...
na siya. Kaya tuloy-tuloy na yan.
Tuloy-tuloy na. All right, let's go back to Hannah T to give us more updates there. Hannah, go ahead.
Yes, Pinky. Kasalukuyan natin nakikita ang mga senador na donning their robes. Kasama dyan ang minority senators, sina Senators Ping Lacson, na kabahagi rin ng kanyang row ay sina former Senate President Tito Soto na nakikitang kinakausap itong si Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano. 23 senators are here, Pinky. Senator Bato is not here. So malabong makita natin siyang mag-preside, maging Senator Judge this afternoon. Pero so far, nananatili namang kalmado yung sitwasyon sa Senate plenary. At as expected, as told by SP Alan, kailangan daw nilang mag-convene today without any delay. At kung matatandaan natin, nitong nakaraang linggo, sinabi ni SP Alan na yung posibleng flow ay pagkatapos nilang mag-convene, aayusin yung internal matters ng kanilang korte kabilang yung oath-taking ng mga senador bilang senator judge at pag-adopt nga ng trial rules. Kasunod dyan yung posibleng, though we've yet to confirm, pero posibleng ipresenta ng House prosecution yung articles of impeachment at mabigyan ng pagkakataon naman yung defense sumagot sa mga paratang. And when it comes to the trial proper, dahil meron ng pre-trial na nasa humigit kumulang 2 hanggang 3 linggo, according na rin to SP Alan, pwedeng sa susunod na buwan ang trial proper ni VP Sara. And sa madaling salita, Pinky, no, sa ngayon, kailangan munang i-convene ang impeachment court. Pagdating sa committee chairmanships, they've yet to talk about it once masuspinde ang sesyon. At actually, this afternoon, Pinky, nakita na natin tong mga robes being transported mula sa 6th and 5th floors pababa rito sa Senate plenary. So we are sort of expecting this to happen this afternoon dahil ilan sa mga robe ay nanggaling mismo sa opisina ng mga senador. Pinky.
All right, maraming salamat sa iyo, Hannah T, reporting to us live from the Senate. And as all right, we'll pause for a short break. We'll be right back. You're watching BNC's special coverage, Senate Under Fire. The Senate is set to convene as an impeachment court. Together with me here in the studio are Attorney Edwin Lacierda and of course Attorney Sal Panelo. Before we went on a break, nakita ko palang kanina na nagbibihis ng kanyang robe was Senator Ping Lacson. And now as we see, this is what will happen now. They will convene into an impeachment court and then thereafter, what
They'll take their oath
happens?
and then back to back to regular programming. They're talking about the committee heads.
Okay.
So they'll be, I don't know what, but they'll be discussing, they're back to regular course of
Pagkatapos
business na.
niyan. Pero sinong mag-o-oath kay presiding officer? Si SP Alan Peter Cayetano? Kasi he also has to take his oath, di ba?
Right. Oo nga, no? Good point. Or
Well,
maybe,
we'll see.
maybe
Hannah knows.
Oo nga.
We're gonna ask Hannah T. She's still live over there at the Senate. Hannah, go ahead.
Yes. Hello, Pinky. We're currently having an interview with Senator Robin Padilla. Confront or in-interview siya ng Senate media on the whereabouts of Senator Bato de la Rosa at kung kumpirmado ba na kasama niya si Senator Bato last week. At tinatanong siya ngayon kung may posibilidad ba na lumipad pa ibang bansa itong si Senator Bato. Sabi niya, hindi raw posible yun. At when it comes doon sa kasama niya si Senator Bato at siya mismo, yung sasakyan niya mismo yung ginamit para makalabas si Senator Bato sa Senate premises, hindi niya to direktang sinagot dahil para sa kanya kailangan na lang daw hintayin itong ongoing investigation nga doon sa nangyaring shooting incident. At nagpapasalamat si Senator Robin sa mga supporter umano niya at nandito siya sa Senate plenary, no? He's about to don his robe. At kung matatandaan natin, lumabas kasi yung mga naunang reports na Senator Robin's vehicle was allegedly used for Senator Bato to exit the Senate premises bandang alas 2:30 ng gabi nitong madaling araw. Hindi niya rin sinagot kung anong reaction niya sa posibleng pagiging person of interest ugnay nga sa pag-exit ni Senator Bato. At for him, kailangan si Senator Bato na lang daw ang dapat kausapin pagdating nga doon sa kinaroroonan ng senador amid the ICC warrant of arrest laban sa kanya. Pinky.
Right. Hannah, so he is not confirming nor denying na kasama niya si Senator Bato nung umalis si Bato sa Senado noong 2:30 a.m. ng Thursday. No,
Wednesday, Pinky, yes.
Thursday na umaga yon, Hannah.
Yes, Thursday,
Yeah.
Thursday.
Oo.
I stand corrected.
Yeah. All right. So, no confirmation from him. And nagpunta siya dyan para makibahagi dito sigurado sa session ngayong araw. Very important yung kanilang pag-convene into an impeachment court. All right. So, we're gonna wait for him. Siguro siya na lang yung hinihintay dyan sa Senado ngayon before they actually begin, Hannah?
Yes, sa kasalukuyan siya na lang yung hindi pa nagdodon ng robe. Hinaharap niya ang Senate media at para raw sa kanya ay ayaw daw mag-aresto nito ni Senator Bato sa International Tribunal. This has always been the stance of their camp, Pinky, no, na unless merong local court order at na-exhaust na nila lahat ng legal remedies, doon lang handang magpa-aresto itong si Senator Bato. So, a few minutes have passed, hindi pa rin nagsusuot ng robe itong si Senator Robin. We've yet to find out, especially nga at walang nangyaring kudeta na dapat ay ngayong hapon, pero sa halip ay nag-convene sila as an impeachment court.
Pero nandyan siya sa loob ng session hall. Si Senator
Pinky.
Robin,
He's,
nandyan na siya.
at the back of
Ah, ah.
the Senate plenary with us, Senate media.
Oo, dahil na-ambush na siya ng Senate media dyan. Kaya patuloy yung kanyang pagbigay ng interview sa mga kasamahan natin sa media. All right, Hannah, just stay on the line and we'll get back to you in a bit as we wait for
So based
what is
on the
next.
statement of Hannah, the end of the road for Senator Bato de la Rosa, kung lalabas siya, is the decision of the Supreme Court. So kung they will rule in favor of Bato, hindi siya, you'll have to apply for a local warrant.
Right, right.
So if they're not granted, their petition is not granted, dire-diretso na. He can be arrested, which begs the question, sisipot ka ba? Ayaw niya papunta sa Hague.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
well, they've always kept that, naman, di ba, Attorney Sal, that defense that once there is a counterpart,
Right.
local court that issues an arrest warrant, even the lawyers were saying that they will submit to that. I think even SP Alan was saying that when they put him under protective custody. Attorney Sal, ito bang protective custody, meron bang pananagutan si SP Alan and even the rest of the senators for giving him that protective custody and Senator Bato de la Rosa leaving Thursday at 2:30 a.m. after the incident, the shooting incident inside the Senate? Meron bang ganun?
Sa akin, wala. Kasi as I said during your interview with me, the very existence of the Senate as an institution was in peril. Dahil nga, ina-assault mo eh. O kaya, by way of giving succor to a member of the Senate, nagbigay sila ng protective custody. Kasi inaantay nga nila yung desisyon ng Korte Suprema.
To clarify, sino nag-assault, sir?
Ayun di ang NBI.
Which is a law enforcement agency.
Yes.
Sila ang nag-assault sa Senado.
Oh, pero ang
When
problema-
they actually have a warrant of arrest.
Wala nga, hindi
issued
naman
by
pinakita eh.
by
It was
the
never
ICC.
shown to Senator
I
Bato.
think they were saying it was shown.
Hindi ba
Pinakita sa
wini-wave
kanya.
nilang ni Trililing? Hindi naman siya na.
Well, ang kwento, supposed to be ng NBI, was that there were two lady NBI personnel
Niyakap siya. Yun ang kwento sa akin ni Bato eh.
Ipinakita sa kanya yung
Hindi
arrest
na-
warrant, tapos hinawi niya. Tapos doon na nagkahabulan.
Ang kwento sa akin, hindi niya pinakita. Nandun akong Tuesday ng gabi. Sabi niya, basta nila akong niyakap. Tapos, siyempre, nagpumiglas ako. Hindi ko alam kung bakit ako ginaganon.
Yun ba yung wrestling na sinasabi niya?
Oh, kasi sabi ko, niyakap ka sana, nagpayakap ka na. Mga girls pala.
Hindi kasi, well anyway, there's too many stories here. But at least
Yun ang
coming from...
account ni Senator Bato sa
niyakap
akin.
siya nung dalawang NBI personnel.
Pinipigilan siya.
Pinigilan
Kasi nga, he was attending the session. O, kaya pinigilan na siyang pumasok.
Tapos ang kwento naman ng NBI, ipinakita yung arrest warrant at hinawi niya at doon na nagkaroon ng takbuhan.
Eh, unang-una, bakit mo yayakapin? Kung pinakita mo. Kasi sabi mo lang, Mr. Senator, we have a warrant for your arrest. Ganun lang sana.
Yeah, but that's Senator Bato's story, right? Naniyakap siya. Ang sabi naman ng NBI, pinakita at hinawi sila. So again, dalawa na naman yung
Pero at hinawi niya nung niyakap siya.
did you? I didn't read the petition, the response of the OSG. Did they question the protective custody in the response to the petition of?
Wala akong nakita
Solgen?
doon sa nabasa ko sa news.
Hindi ko pa siya nabasa in full. It's about...
Pero ang brad niya, and you would be surprised sino ang brad niya.
Brad Nino.
Si Frank, brad niya. Has a different view from him.
Oh, I disagree with him.
Ano mo, just anecdotal, ang bata ni
who you're
Sarko.
allied with, eh.
Disagree.
I mean, diba, the truth of the matter is we can talk about this ICC warrant of arrest forever.
For Kingdom Come.
And on the side of Attorney Sal, they will always say it's illegal because it needs a local court to issue that. Then you will have the other side saying it is valid, as the Solgen is saying right now, and it need not require a local court
Which
to
is
issue.
why it's imperative on the Supreme Court to final rule on that matter.
Yun din yung
Kasi they keep on invoking 9851 Republic Act. Kasi pwede naman isurrender.
May surrender, di ba? May surrender
Ang
or
tanong ko
extradite.
naman, gusto mong sabihin, porket sinabi ng batas na surrender, susuko mo na lang?
Ayun ang ginawa nga kay di ba? Kay Digong.
Exactly, but my point, kasi sinasabi na, Legal kasi may batas, excuse me, surrender, tanda mo, sinusuko mo. Gusto mo sabihin, hindi mo na titingnan yung provision on due process? No person shall be deprived of liberty without due process of law?
Yeah, that's what I was asking Attorney Edwin,
Paano?
yung
Basta isusuko mo?
deprived of
Pwede ba yun?
liberty. Sige.
You know, you were in The
Please.
Hague. I mean, look at the kind of due process that they gave to the president was far more than we in the country would give to. You know, it was a very elaborate,
But that was
laborious.
done after the illegal arrest.
There's no.
Kumbaga, they were correcting a mistake. Kasi hindi ba, dapat under their law, the Rome Statute, kailangan duman sa court. Kaya ang ginawa nila, inulit na lang nila doon,
Correct.
nagkaroon doon.
That's also allowed by the rules.
But that was after, yun nga ang punto.
No, but they were saying that we don't care, even if it was done illegally in the home country, for as long as no ICC personnel were involved, then they will recognize the arrest.
Pero malabo
But
yata.
in any event, but the point is, until the Supreme Court rules makes a decision, we'll always be debating on this point.
Yeah. But that particular provision that Attorney Sal was saying, kasi ito yung mga lumalabas RA 9851, di ba? Yung may arrest or extradite. Under the Rome Statute, sir, because you brought it up, I still have it here, because I'm really trying to understand what is the right course of action. And not being a lawyer, medyo mahirap po for someone like me. But that Article 59 always invoked here is that, number one, a state party which has received a request for provisional arrest or for arrest and surrender shall immediately take steps to arrest the person in question in accordance with its laws and the provisions of Part 9. Tapos yun na nga po,
In accordance with the laws of the country, di ba?
with its laws and provisions of Part 9. Yun yung kailangan pa hanapin, yung Part 9. But then, again, all right, they're beginning. Let's go back live to the Senate right now.
Senator
Let's
Judge
listen in.
Villanueva.
Yes, Mr. President, Sir Presiding Officer, may we request Senator Judge Camille Villar to ascend the rostrum to administer the oath of the Senate President.
Please raise your right hand. Impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. I state your name,
I, Alan Peter Compañero Shram Cayetano,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that in all things appertaining to the trial of the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte,
that in all things appertaining to the trial of the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte,
now pending,
now pending,
I will do impartial justice according to the Constitution.
I will do impartial justice according to the Constitution
and laws of the Philippines.
and the laws of the Philippines.
So help me God.
So help me God. At this time, I will administer the oath of each of the senator judges in the chamber in conformity with Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 6 of the Philippine Constitution and Rule 3 of the Senate Rules of Procedure on Impeachment Trials. May we request everyone to rise. Same oath, no? Same oath. So, same. I state your name. Solemnly swear that in all things appertaining to the trial of the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte, now pending, I will do impartial justice according to the Constitution and the laws of the Philippines. So help me God. Senator Judge Villanueva.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last Thursday, May 14, 2026, the House of Representatives, through Secretary General Cheloy Garafil, personally delivered to the Senate the articles of impeachment against Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte, pursuant to Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 3 of the Constitution, and Rule 4, Section 11 of the Rules of Procedure in the impeachment proceedings of the House of Representatives. Earlier today, the articles of impeachment were referred to the Committee on Rules and consequently to the Senate sitting as an impeachment court. Mr. President, the articles of impeachment against Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte with its annexes are now presented to the court for proper disposition and action.
The same is duly noted and made of record. For the record, Resolution Number 39 or the Rules of Procedure on Impeachment Trial shall continue to apply. We further note that Rule 6 thereof, which provide that the provisions of the rules of the Senate and the revised rules of court shall apply suppletorily whenever applicable. The court having been organized, and the articles of impeachment having been presented, let a writ of summons be issued to the Vice President Sara Zimmerman Duterte, who is directed to file her answer within a non-extendable period of 10 days from receipt, pursuant to Article 7 of the Rules of Procedure of Impeachment Trial. She is directed to appear before the Session Hall of the Senate of the Philippines upon notice. The Sergeant at Arms is directed to serve the written summons on Vice President Sara Duterte along with a copy of the articles of impeachment. The prosecution may file a reply within a non-extendable period of 5 days from receipt of the answer. The parties may file their pleadings and annexes in person or through electronic mail. All other pleadings, motions, similar papers intended for the consideration of this court may be filed electronically. We will circulate the specific instructions on the format for the pleadings and manner of electronic filing for the guidance of all parties.
Mr. President.
Senator Judge.
Thank you,
Soto.
thank you.
Yes.
Mr. President, may it be clarified when you say 10 days, is that working days or calendar days?
Calendar days.
Calendar days, and including the 5 days for the prosecution to respond.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay. The clerk of court is hereby authorized to calendar the case for pre-trial and issue the corresponding notices to the parties after the last pleading is filed. Upon conclusion of the pre-trial, the trial proper shall commence on a date and time fixed by the court, of which the parties shall be duly notified. I approached members of the minority of the Senate, and then later on I will approach the senator judges that we will fix the calendar together, and in pursuit of impartial justice, we will come up with a impeachment calendar that is fair to the prosecution and to the defense, and will allow us to continue to function in the legislative side of our work. Any other matter? If there no other matter, the session is suspended.
Okay, that concludes the court. The senator judges, well, the senators convening themselves into an impeachment court. Siguro, Attorney Sal, Edwin, daanan lang natin yung mga sinabi nila, just very important words, impartial justice. Is this something that we can expect from our senator judges?
kung titingnan mo yung mga nakaraan, mukhang never naman nagkaroon ng impartial, talagang kanya-kanyang botohan. Depende sa opinion ng bawat justice. Depende rin ang relasyon nila dun sa respondent. Depende, maraming palaging impartial. Hindi ako naniniwala.
Maybe they have a default position. For instance, if you're identified with Vice President Sara, your default position is siyempre, kakampi ka sa kanya. But depends on the evidence kung meron. Or on the side naman of the prosecution, kung wala silang nakita, akala nila malakas ang ebidensya pero wala. That's where impartiality comes in. But it's just I would agree with
Something
Sal.
we have yet to see. And then, siguro just to recap, magkakaroon po ng writ of summons that will be forwarded to the Vice President, and she has non-extendable 10 days, 10 calendar days to
Yes.
reply. Pagkatapos po nun, ay binigyan naman ng prosecution after that ng 5 days, non-extendable to reply from receipt of the reply of the Vice President. And then thereafter, they will calendar. They will talk to among themselves about regarding this,
pre-trial.
what they call an impeachment calendar. So that doesn't, I guess,
So after the reply, may
conflict.
pre-trial pa. So there's
May
a pre-trial.
sorry, okay. So, Vice President 10 days, sagot ng prosecution ng 5 days, tapos may pre-trial, and then, pag-uusapan po nila yung impeachment calendar, which actually means we still really don't have an idea when the trial will actually begin. So far, that's the latest there at the Senate. I'd like to thank, of course, Attorney Sal Panelo for being with us here today.
Thank
Attorney
you.
Sal, always maraming salamat po sa inyo. And to my co-anchor, Attorney Edwin Lacierda.
We are the pinks.
We are the what?
The pinks. Pinky.
Grabe, ah. All right, Business 360 is up next. I'm Pinky Webb.
Mr. President, I still have the floor.
Gusto ko po sanang ireklamo si Senator Pangilinan sa pagsigaw.
The Senate is under attack. Was under attack.
Sasalubungin din si Senador